Being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks. That's the topic we're going to be discussing here tonight, live. So stick around for all that and much, much more that's coming right. Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. So that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life that is absolutely, positively, 100% or even 1,000,000% correct. I am here to help as many people as possible that are first and foremost open to the help, get the best possible grips on their lives so that way each and every one of you can accomplish whatever it is that your hearts desire. That's what it's all about, folks. It's all about helping people, uplifting people to get a better grip on their lives so they can accomplish anything they want, anything they desire, right? But you have to be open to the help. And some people just aren't open to the help. Some people have sunk so low and they're so insecure. They're so immature. They're so emotionally immature. And sometimes you deal with people that are, emotionally and mentally unstable, which is a whole new other ballgame. Those types of people, unfortunately, I can't help those types of people. Those types of people need, more medical professional help from a therapist, a doctor. And while I have some ideas on how to help people in that way, I'm not, qualified to help people in that way. And I'm not legally allowed to help people in that way. But I can state my opinions regarding those types of people and maybe, help people that are, mentally and emotionally stable better understand why certain people treat them a certain way. Hey, Firewolf Studios, welcome to the show. Glad that you're here. American Dream 1.5 or whichever channel you're here on tonight. I know you mentioned something at the beginning of the stream. I'll get to that in a second. But before I get to that, I forgot. I need to make sure that the YouTube notification went out, and it has gone out. Let me check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that things are rolling smoothly on the back end of YouTube. Give me just a second here. And it looks like we are rolling well on the back end of YouTube. Once again, tonight we are also simulcasting live on Facebook. And let me make sure that the Facebook side of things is rolling well. Give me a second here. Let me see. Give me a second here. Yes. Looks like it's rolling well on Facebook once again. Nobody on Facebook yet, but that's okay. That may change. Plus, there's also great replay value on my live streams, so no big deal. Before I get back to the YouTube side of things and start discussing what I'm going to talk about here tonight, let me first start off this show by once again paying special props to this channel sponsor. This channel sponsor is none other than the great, amazing Troy Brewer, a great longtime friend of mine that runs an amazing marketing company, one of the most trustworthy and reliable marketing companies on the planet, in my opinion. Okay, I've worked with him for almost a decade now, and he is an amazing guy. And he is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network for all of your product and service needs. From the most trusted professionals in the industry, please visit www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. One more time, that's www.discover discovercommunitynetwork.com. You can also visit a subsidiary of the Discover Community Network known as the DCN Internet Radio Network. And when you go on that website, you're going to find a bunch of talk and music internet radio stations. And more than likely, one of those talk or music internet radio stations will suit your talk or music genre needs. So if you'd like, check out www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. One more time, that's www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. You can listen to it on your smartphone. You can listen to it on your laptop or desktop, or even your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto while you're driving around. Nice and safely, right? Both those links are below in the description, about a third of the way down. And if you go to either of those websites and you also find out how to connect with Troy, and you decide to connect with Troy by phone or email, please do not fail to mention that Coach Eli, as always, sends you with lots and lots of love. All right. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. Glad you could all join me here tonight. Tonight, we're going to be discussing being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks. One more time. Being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks. And if you clicked on this stream, I'm sure you saw the thumbnail. It says, you have no one to blame but yourself. One more time. You have no one to blame but yourself. Anything and everything you do, every action you take, every move you make, every breath you take has a consequence, a potential consequence, right? Could be good or bad. And while you may blame other people, that may have caused you harm in your eyes because of an action you took the initial action, and you only have yourself to blame no matter what you think, whether the other person did the right or wrong thing. I'm going to explain more about that here in a little bit because there are a lot of interesting aspects to discuss regarding this topic. And I'm going to be sharing examples here tonight. Most of my examples, if not all, are going to pertain to, once again, and I hate to do this, but it's the best example, pertain to this drama group of YouTube I used to be a part of. And now, someone that's a channel member here that's becoming a good friend of mine, and he's been very supportive of this channel, American Dream. I feel American Dream has been dealing with the exact same things I've dealt with regarding these people for the last 4 years. So I'm here to clarify a bunch of things for people that are on the right side of things, are on the good side of things, and are just normal, decent, stable people. Now, before I get into sharing some of these stories, hey, Furious Reactor Gaming, welcome to the show. American Dream was here before I went live and said, in case I can't make it back by, meaning the start of the stream, just wanted to show my respect. Yesterday was too much of a distraction with me and the audience. No, it was not American Dream. I'm glad you were here yesterday, and I'm glad you're here today. And if you're here right now, please, let your voice be heard. Because today, I'm going to prove to you. I know I have nothing to prove to you or anyone, but I want to prove to you how similar you and I are, and how you and I have both shared a bunch of the same experiences out here on YouTube and in real life as well. And while you may think, American Dream, that, you've made some mistakes, or other people say you've made mistakes, I feel otherwise. I feel, American Dream, you've been a victim of circumstance, because I've been through the same thing with these same people and been a victim of circumstance as well. And until I figured out, the best way to handle this situation, it was consuming my life, and it held me back from doing things that are going to move me forward instead of things that, set me back, right? Now you're in the same boat, right? And you're trying to slip away from it, right? American Dream 1.5 also said before the show started, I will watch and communicate behind the scenes. You don't have to communicate behind the scenes in American Dream. You can communicate on the front lines. I would prefer that. Listen, American Dream, I've got your back because you're a good person. I know you're a good person. It takes an intelligent, decent, emotionally strong, stable person to notice that, and I recognize that. So please, let your voice be heard. Don't let these people stop you from voicing your thoughts and your opinions. American Dream, I can't even talk. American Dream 1.5, who's a channel member on like 3 different channels. I don't know why, American Dream, but thank you. Unless I, of course, have questions upon your topic. Well, you're going to have plenty of questions. Trust me on that. Trust me on that, American Dream. Once again, welcome to Firewolf Studios. Also, welcome to Furious Reactor Gaming. Now, let me check out Facebook real quick. Nothing happening on Facebook. Okay, no problem. Folks, if you look at my background here tonight, I actually created this. I took a quote picture and then I put it on top of a nice background of a storm in the ocean. And if you look at this right here, if you read it, it says, life isn't waiting for the storm to pass. It is about learning to dance in the rain. One more time. Life isn't waiting for the storm to pass. It is about learning to dance in the rain. How many of you out there in the chat understand what that means? I'll tell you what that means to me, okay? Anyone and everyone who's in their right mind would prefer a sunny day over a rainy day. But even if it rains, should that stop you from doing what you normally do? That makes you feel good about yourself and keeps moving you forward in life. Let me give you an example. When I go take my walks at the park or wherever I walk on a regular basis, okay, come rain, come shine, I go out there and do my walk because I know if I don't get my walk in, I'm going to not feel as good about myself. Those endorphins won't be flowing. And I'll probably gain some weight, which is going to affect my health and affect, how I feel about myself and how I see myself. I'm proactive and I think ahead about the repercussion of things. And I don't let things like rain, for example, get in the way of me moving forward. So what did I do? When I first started doing walks regularly and it started to rain, I went and bought myself some rain gear, some heavier jackets, some rain gear, and I continue to go out there and do my walks. Folks, you can't wait for the storm to pass before you continue moving forward with your life. You have to learn how to dance in the rain. It's a great quote, and it's a great figure of speech. Firewolf Studio says, how have you been, Eli? I've been doing well, bro. I've been doing quite well. Thank you so much for asking. How about yourself? I know that you have a lot of things that you're dealing with behind the scenes. And I'm not going to put them out here publicly. I mean, I know you shared some information on your channel, but I know you've got a lot of responsibility up ahead, bro. And again, I commend you for taking on the amount of responsibility you've chosen to take on. It's going to be a long road ahead, bro. Hope you know what you're up against and what the future is going to entail. But you've owned it, and you've said that you're ready for it, and you want to do it. So I commend you for that, and I wish you the best of luck on anything that you are looking to accomplish now and in the future, bro. So yeah, I've been doing quite well. Thank you so much for asking. Now, what really sparked me to do this topic, I mean, it's a topic I would have done at some point regardless, and I've kind of talked about this topic in the past, but I want to dedicate a full show on this because of American Dream. He's been very supportive of this channel. He's donated lots of money, and he's also become a channel member on many channels. And while I don't expect that, and I keep telling him he doesn't have to do that, I'm not going to tell any man or woman how they spend their money, and I appreciate that. But I wanted to dedicate this show primarily to him and what he's been going through, because it can be used as a great example of how to help others that, are going through a similar thing. Another reason why I'm doing this is because I've gone through the exact same thing or things as American Dream is going through. Number one, he's going through a divorce right now. And even though I've never been married, I've gone through a pretty bad breakup. Okay? And number two, he's experienced the same harassment and attacks and defamation from this same group of people that came at me for the last 2 to 4 years, between my former channel I used to run and this channel that I'm running now. I used to run a former channel that I shut down a little over 2 years ago. Then I took a 3-month break from YouTube and then came back a little over 2 years ago and started this channel. And there's a group of people on YouTube, and there are lots of people like this, but there's one particular group that both myself and American Dream 1.5 used to associate with, because initially we thought they were really good people, but we grew to learn that these aren't the types of people that, we want to associate with. And these types of people, I don't know if I'd go as far and say aren't good people. Maybe they are capable of being good people, but these types of people have a lot of mental and emotional issues. That's the honest to God truth. And to get the story straight, and I'm just going to be real and honest with you folks, I'm not here to criticize anyone. I'm going to make it very clear. I love everyone, right? I love everyone. I don't want to have any hate for anyone. I just call things as I see them. And just because I'm a slight left liberal, that's my political stance, doesn't mean I don't like views from both sides. I'm actually more down the middle. I'm not an extremist on the left or the right. I'm more down the middle, but I would probably identify myself a little bit more slightly on the left. Okay. Does that mean I hate conservatives? No, I don't. I don't hate anybody. I don't pass judgment on anyone based on their political views. If I were to pass judgment on anyone, it would be based on their behavior, right? And it just so happens to be, I've mentioned this before in other streams, I'll say it again so American Dream can understand where I'm coming from, and the rest of you can understand where I'm coming from. There's a group of far-right extremists, right-wing extremists, extremist conservatives, how many more different ways can I say it? Same thing, that live in the Midwest and the South, the red states, Trump territory. These are pretty much Trump supporters, right? And these are the people that are primarily coming out here on YouTube and saying their freedom of speech is being violated. They're being shut down on all social media. They're dealing with lots of copyright strikes and claims and all that type of stuff. Okay. And the primary members of this group are middle-aged, Caucasian, conservative extremist men from the Midwest and the South. These are men in their, some of them can be in their 20s, but primarily they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. Grown men. Grown men that should be behaving maturely, like a grown man behaves, right? But these guys don't behave that way because they feel, for some reason, that the way our country is run here is, not run the right way at all. It's just everyone's against them. Everyone is out to get them, right? But why do these people feel this way? And that's the furthest thing from the truth. Why do these people feel this way? Well, a lot of these people grew up in poverty. With no disrespect, I say this with no disrespect, I'm just stating the facts. A lot of these people are lower class people. They're blue collar workers. I'm not hating on the blue collar workers. It's just these are blue collar workers, right? They came from poverty. They came from a broken household. They didn't have the best relationship with their mother or father, or maybe the mother and father got divorced at a young age, or maybe, they were a bastard child, or whatever the situation is. These guys have been through a lot. And some of these guys, were married at some point, or some of them are still married, and they've either gone through a divorce or they're still currently married to their wife or their wives, but they're unhappily married. So what do these guys do? They come out here on YouTube and social media and they project their insecurities. And they say the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard, to be honest with you. The most ridiculous things. And they also do the most ridiculous things. Why? Because they feel they haven't had the same fair opportunities as the rest of us have, which is the furthest thing from the truth. Everyone here in the U.S. and in the world has the same exact opportunities, right? A lot of these people, because of their upbringing, didn't learn how to be a strong man. And, it made them mentally and emotionally weak. And instead of handling life's, events in a professional and mature way, these grown men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, react like a 2-year-old. And that's what you're dealing with American Dream 1.5. Sparkles flying. I don't know who you are. When are you going to take responsibility for your own actions, Eli? You have a lot to be sorry for. Own it. I've already owned everything that I've done. American Dream has been through the same thing. I don't owe you anything, sir. And if you want to come here and project onto me and tell me to take ownership of things that I've already taken ownership of and move forward from, then, I have to ask, why are you here, dude? Are you here because you have nothing better to do and you're an insecure person and you're bored and there's nothing better to watch? Why are you here? Why do you feel the need to come at me, dude, if you don't like me, right? Why can't you just move on? Unless you want to like me and you want to be a part of this, I can understand that. So if you're here because you're saying you want me to take ownership for certain things that you feel I haven't, because you want to give me a chance and participate here, I can understand that. If you have no desire to ever participate here on this channel, sir, then why should I even validate your comment? I'm just asking you, being honest with you, bro. Why do you care? I've made mistakes. American Dream's made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. We've apologized for these mistakes many times. And the reason why I made the mistakes I made and said some of the things I said on some past live streams years ago is because I got triggered because this group of people I was just talking about purposefully triggered me to get a reaction from me for traction and ratings. Well, let me ask you, Sparkles Flying, why don't you be a little more specific? I won't ban you. I'll let you chat. What have I not taken action for? Why don't you put it out there in the chat and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I'm going to be honest with you about everything. And you're going to have the option of either accepting my answer or not. It's your choice, bro. You have not taken ownership of half the stuff you have done, and you know it. You only took ownership of what you think doesn't make you look bad. No, dude, now you're projecting. No, dude, I've owned up to everything. I know exactly what I've done. And if you're talking about other people that have come at me and my family and my friends and finding out who they are and taking action legally, that's my choice to do so, sir. So, sir, what have I done to harm people? Having CPS called on people. Well, sir, I've never had CPS called on anyone. There were some times where I threatened to call CPS on people because they were coming at me in some very hateful ways. They were attacking myself. They were attacking my family. They were attacking my business and everything, and they wouldn't stop. And I feel that people that do that and have a child to raise are not in the right mindset. but I never did call CPS on anybody, sir. And I don't SWAT people. And you're probably Robert. I don't SWAT people, sir. I don't. Think whatever you want. You see, all these people came at me. And rather than ignoring them like I've been ignoring them now and not letting them get to me, I gave them a chance to be friends with them, right? And they kept coming at me, and they kept doing things that are way worse than anything I've ever done. All I've ever done is try to defend myself. I was trying to get these people to stop. And maybe the way I reacted wasn't the best thing to do, but my intentions were never to harm anybody, sir. So where's the issue? All right. Listen, I'm not here to talk about that woman you mentioned in the chat there. And listen, I don't care what she shows you or what anyone shows you. It doesn't matter. I'm not a part of the drama sphere anymore, dude. I'm not. You folks can take any information that's been put out there on me publicly that I put out there and do as you wish. I could care less. The bottom line is I've got nothing to hide, and I've owned everything I've done. And the reasons why I did the things I did was to try to defend myself. Then I realized I'm dealing with mentally and emotionally unstable and incompetent people, grown men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that are insecure and immature. And there's no amount of reasoning that's going to work with these people because of the way they are, like I said. So same thing probably with you, sir, or ma'am. I don't know if you're a sir or a ma'am. My apologies if I got it wrong. But if you're not able to be a reasonable person, then how can I reason with you? How can you ever accept any action that I take or any apology I make? It almost seems like you don't want to accept my apology, whether it's genuine or not, because you just want to keep the drama going. And I'm not about that, dude. I'm not. Well, Sparkle's flying. You're making yourself look ridiculous in my chat. Rather, you are a part of it, or not any longer. You still did things and did not own up to it. So you lied, and you should take your own advice. Sir, I'm asking you again, how did I lie? You say that I swatted people, and I did not. You say that I called CPS on people, and I said I never have. I did make people aware that I would call CPS if they didn't stop because I had concerns about that person's mental and emotional stability, especially having a young child in their place. But then they backed off, I backed off, we all backed off. Sir, besides that, what do you have? Give it to me straight. Bring it on, man. Bring it on. Tell me, what else have I done, sir? Are you going to tell me that I've attacked disabled as well? Because no, I have not. Have I said a few things that came off rude? Yes, but I was put in a bad position. I was being attacked by people that happened to be disabled, and I said a few things that I overreacted, but I didn't mean it. But see, that's how you guys are. You're probably one of those, conservative extremists from the Midwest or the South. You're probably in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. You're probably Caucasian, right? And there's no amount of reasoning with you that's going to work, dude. You're one of those guys that just can't let things go. You just can't let things go. Like, dude, I've moved past this. When are you and the rest of these people going to move past this? When are you going to move past it, dude? Let me tell you something, Sparkle's flying. My best friend is African American. And he knows that I'm not a racist. There are times where we've said some things, all of us, regardless of our race. There are times where every single person, sir, including probably yourself, has said something they didn't mean. That doesn't make us a racist. Get over it, dude. It's over. It's over. Move past it, dude. You're probably Robert. And if you're Robert on the sock in here, then you know what? This is the most you're going to get from me. And I don't mind answering, bro, because I'm a transparent type of person. You threaten people and do false restraining orders on people who couldn't care less about you. So you are Robert. Robert, welcome to the show. I got a restraining order on somebody because they came at my family. They came at myself, my business. They came at my brother's work. They came at my entire Facebook friend network, which is all my friends and business contacts. You're telling me that what this guy did was right? He himself said, I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not saying what I'm doing is right. You had people stalked and paid thousands of dollars for them to do it. Nope, I never did that. Nope. No, I never did that, sir. I did what I had to do to protect myself from these people that were attacking me, defaming my character, and destroying my brand. And if you can't accept that, I could care less. Sir, I don't dox people. I don't dox people. What I have gone on record and said before, sir, is that if there are people out here that are doxing people and harming other people, I feel it is absolutely necessary to raise awareness and make people aware of these people. You know what, Sparkle's Flying? I'm going to ban you in a second because I'm pretty tired of your stuff, to be honest with you. I'm tired of this because you just don't get it. You just don't want to move forward. Okay? On the news, when there's a predator on the loose, or somebody has done something wrong, the news makes us aware about these people, right? To protect us from these people in case we encounter them, right? It's the same thing here on YouTube, bro. If somebody is harming other people, I feel people need to know who that person is. I don't consider that doxing. If you do, sir, then that's on you. All right. You know what, dude? I'm sick and tired of you because you just don't get it. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm done. I have no problem and no shame admitting anything I've done in the past. I've learned from it. But everything I've done in the past was not done with malice intention or intentions. Came out here on YouTube. All I wanted to do is create content. I was with my ex-girlfriend. All I wanted to do was bring my ex-girlfriend, who's my girlfriend at the time, on the channel and entertain people and teach them about life's principles and show them how great our relationship was. Then you guys got involved, started trolling, started doxing, started doing all the things that you're blaming me, for doing, right? And just because I took some action to defend myself and protect myself, you're going to flip it around on me, right? Because everything that you accused me of, sir, is what all these people did to me for the last 4 years. And you want to know something? Not only did I put up with it, I handled it quite well. I didn't let it kick me down. And I'm still here on YouTube. I've got a fully monetized channel. All my videos are monetized green. I run ad-friendly content, and I'm truly here to help people in a positive way. So what can you say about that, sir? What can you say about that? Now, I know you're banned here, but just think about that. Think about that. You expect me to just sit back and have people fire bullets at me and not fire back, figuratively speaking? Is that what you expect? No, it's not the way that I work, sir. But see, you're one of those people that I just mentioned. You, Sparkles Flying, are one of those right-wing extremists, Caucasian men, no disrespect, that's just who you are, from the Midwest or the South. You're a Trump supporter, right? And listen, I'm not trying to kick down anyone. You want to support Trump, that's on you. I certainly don't support Trump. But what I have noticed is that Trump supporters are in a league of their own. And Trump supporters are okay with inciting violence when nothing else works. I'm not about inciting violence, sir. I'm about squashing negativity. If people are going to come at me and threaten me and do things to me that are against the law, I'm going to do whatever it takes within the law to stop them. And that's all I ever did. And if you misperceive that as doxing or other stuff, sir, then that's on you. Okay? If I've broken the law, sir, call the cops and have them cuff me. Where are the cuffs, sir? Where are the cuffs, right? You want to call Redwood City Police and have them come over and cuff me? They know me. They all know me. They all know me. Because I've reported all of this to them. I had to go through a lot to get myself to where I'm at today with that restraining order on that super troll that did all these crazy things to myself, my family, my friends, etc. Right? And I had to also protect myself from people doing other crazy things. So I had to contact my county sheriff and Redwood City Police and had them notate the system. They all know me. They all know the situation. So, sir, if you're going to come at me and you're going to blame me for stuff, you're going to have to come at me with a whole lot more than that. It's not going to kick me down, dude. It's not. Now, American Dream. I'm going to share with you my thoughts regarding what I feel has been happening with you. But I'm going to do that when I get back from the break. I'm going to take a break. I've been on for 36 minutes. I want to rest my voice and I want to refill my coffee. But let me check out the Facebook side of things before I do that. Okay, we're all clear on Facebook. Once again, folks, tonight we're talking about being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks. Being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks. American Dream, I know you filed copyright strikes on many people. I watched some streams today. I'll even mention this. One of them was run by Raleigh on his main channel. It was early in the morning. It was 6 a.m. my time, 9 a.m. his time. And I learned a lot. And to be quite honest with you, I haven't kept up that much with your streams or your stories. I didn't even know you were streaming until a few weeks back. I didn't know how involved you were. Apparently, you've been very involved. But I believe you, American Dream 1.5. And I think that you're a victim of circumstance, just like I was. And I'm going to share more why when I get back. I'm also going to share what Raleigh and these other people, Raleigh is just a content creator. For those of you that don't know who he is, he's a content creator that voices his opinions, and he does streams on his main channel to talk about the drama and to talk about, you know, why people are filing false copyright strikes when it's fair use, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to share my thoughts about that. I'm going to share my thoughts about all of that when I get back, because the bottom line is you're in control of your own destiny. And being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks. And like the thumbnail says, you have no one to blame but yourself for whatever action you take, whether you feel that action taken against you was right or wrong. All that matters is, you know, what the legality of it is. In this case, with copyright, it doesn't matter whether you think it's fair use or not. All that matters is if YouTube feels that, and the copyright, you know, court, the court of law in the copyright sector. But we're going to talk more about that when I get back, because again, a lot of these guys I've been talking about that have been coming at you, American Dream, and coming at me, these right-wing extremists in the Midwest and the South. Okay, they're very unreasonable people, and they are not proactive people. They are reactive people, right? If you're proactive and you understand the risks of doing something, then take that risk, but don't complain if it goes the opposite way. And if you don't want to take that chance, or if you don't want someone to, copyright strike you for something you feel is fair use, then don't use that content in the first place. Be proactive like I've been. I don't use any of these people's content because they're looking to take me down for any reason out of spite. So why am I going to give him that? Why should you give him that, right? Why should you give him that, right? So, okay, folks, I'm going to cue up some royalty-free YouTube music, step away and take a quick break, and then come back and share more about what's been going on, because a lot of YouTube channels have been getting shut down. I'm going to share with you how I feel about that. It all pertains to the topic, right? It all pertains to the topic about being proactive, right? So let me just cue up that music. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Let me see here. Do, 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 do. Let me see. Let me see here. And just a couple more here. One more. Come on. All right, folks, music's all queued up. I'm going to step away for for my first 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. When I return, I'll be sharing more about, how being proactive and taking ownership of your actions is going to spare you a lot of heartache. It's going to spare you having to deal with things that these people have had to deal with, that I'll be sharing their story when I get back. So stick around. We'll be right back. I'm back. Welcome back, everybody. Feel it. Feel it. As long as you feel good, doesn't matter what you do. You're going to do the right thing. If you feel good, there's no way you can make a mistake. And if you make a mistake when you feel good, it'll be an honest mistake. You can own it, apologize, and move forward. And if people don't accept your apology, you don't need to deal with those people. You want to deal with just happy, positive people like yourself. Like attracts like, right? Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Sometimes you have to just shake it all about, right? Sometimes you got to take things with a grain of salt and just move forward. Sometimes it is what it is. Some people are set in their ways. People are going through so many different things nowadays. You just got to learn to identify that and move past those people and focus on people that you resonate with and resonate with you, right? Yeah. Yeah, woo-wee! All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. And once again tonight, we're also simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you could all join me here tonight on this Wednesday evening. And the second Trump impeachment trial continues, and another interesting day on Capitol Hill. I'll probably do a stream at some point this week, maybe towards the end of the week, Thursday, tomorrow, or Friday, to share my thoughts about that. I'll create a specific stream on that. I'm just waiting to see how this thing's going to pan out throughout most of this week. and it's going to get even more interesting, I'll tell you. It's just very, very interesting. But anyway, tonight we are discussing being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks. One more time. Being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks. I gotta tell you folks, if you think about the consequences before you take actions or any action, you're gonna make the right decision most of the time the first time around. That's what the word proactive means. If you're proactive and you understand anything you do may have consequences if you do a certain thing, and you're willing to accept those consequences should consequences come out of it, then do what you got to do. If not, be proactive and think, okay, if I do this, can somebody file a copyright strike on me and disable my channel for streaming for 90 days if it's on a live stream or live stream replay? If I use hate speech, vulgar language, if I attack people, harass people, cyberbully people, do I risk getting a community guideline strike and not being able to stream or post any content for a week? Now, if you get the first violation on any channel, it's a warning. YouTube changed their system last year, about a year ago or so, to give one warning with no penalty. So one-time warning per channel with no penalty. Then, the next community guideline infraction, which is number 2, you're disabled from streaming or uploading any content for a week. The second time you do it in a 90-day period, you're disabled for 2 weeks from streaming or uploading content. The third time, 3 strikes and you're out. Now that's after, once again, your community guideline warning, which is a one-time thing per channel. And YouTube couldn't have made it any easier for all content creators to understand the community guidelines, the copyright guidelines, and the ad-friendly guidelines. If you abide by all of those, you're going to be fine, right? But most people don't think about the consequences until after they take action, right? If you're proactive and you think about what could possibly happen if you do this, and you're willing to accept and understand what could happen, then do what you got to do. But if it happens, and you don't like what happens, and you already knew you were taking a risk, then you have no right to complain. Because if you're complaining at that point, you're whining like a female dog. Let's talk about a channel with no disrespect. I'm just stating my opinions here in a respectful way. We're going to talk about a guy named Raleigh. Just going to say his first name. I don't want to create any privacy issues or anything like that. And Raleigh is a content creator that's been around for a little over a year now within this drama sphere I used to be a part of. And the reason why I'm mentioning him is because a good supporter of my channel, American Dream, I guess apparently has associated with him and some other people throughout that drama sphere. And Raleigh's the type of guy that likes to use other people's content and give his opinion, per se, about those content creators. And a lot of times, when he does videos like that without realizing it, he's pretty much attacking that person, right? Now, if somebody, on any video that violates guidelines, you have the right as a consumer or a creator to flag any video for copyright or for community guideline violations. So, Raleigh, I'm sure you're going to hear about this, and quite frankly, I don't care what you do anymore. Like, I'm at the point right now where I don't really care if these people simulcast my live streams or use my content. I really could care less. I've moved past it because I'm rebuilding with a new audience that doesn't have a care for what you folks do. I'm just using you folks as an example here in case other people go down this path. In any aspect of life, they're going to know how to handle and deal with people like you folks, right? So, Raleigh, when he does these, what do you call it? Reaction videos, right? He'll say a lot of hateful things. At least that's what he did in the past. And what happens? You flag these videos for cyberbullying and harassment, creator-on-creator harassment, which YouTube did a thing about that about a year and a half ago. They're more so cracking down on that. You flag them down for that, and it's a crapshoot whether YouTube takes it down or not, right? So what do most creators resort to when this happens? Okay, they resort to the copyright system because technically you are allowed to file a copyright even if someone uses 1 or 2 seconds of your content. You can legally and technically file a copyright claim on it, okay? And whether you, Raleigh, or anyone else feels that your usage of that other person's content is fair use, that's subjective to the court of law, right? It is. You know that. Now, here's the thing, Raleigh. You may be right and say, okay, I critique this video, it's fair use, right? Now, Raleigh, if you and other people that have been stricken for using other people's content and making commentary, if you did that commentary in a professional, mature, and what's the word I'm looking for here? And you did it in a reasonable way. Okay, if you're going to critique somebody, critiquing somebody, Raleigh, and other people, doesn't mean it's an avenue for you to attack that person. Okay, and even if you think some of the things you've done was not to attack people, if it comes off or it's perceived to be an attack by us or by YouTube, it's probably going to be either removed for a guideline violation or you're going to get flagged for copyright. Because here's the thing. This is the way that I work. This is the way that I use the copyright system. If somebody is using my content under fair use and is not attacking somebody or is not attacking me or defaming my character, I'll let it slide. Now, here's the thing. Once again, being proactive. It doesn't matter what you use someone's content for. Even if you use someone's content for 1 or 2 seconds, even if it's in a professional way, we still have the right to file a copyright claim on it. And then YouTube has the option of taking it down or not. And if YouTube takes it down, then you can do what's called, then you can file what's called a counter notification, right? And that counter notification gives the original claimant, 10 business days, which is typically 14 days, including weekends, to sue you, or the video gets reinstated, right? And like I mentioned, towards the end of last year, the beginning of this year, now they're building a small claims copyright court that was approved for situations like these. Because before, if you had to sue somebody for a copyright claim to offset a counter notification, you would have to sue them in a federal copyright court, and that would cost you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and small creators can't afford that. So people like you, Raleigh, and others have been playing the system and saying, okay, you can take me down for copyright. I'll file a counter notification. I'll be back in 2 to 3 weeks, like you said on your show this morning, right? Okay. But now, as they build this small claims copyright court, for as little as $100 to like $350 maximum or something like that, you can sue people for this up to $15,000 per infraction, $30,000 total per case, right? And if you think this is about the money, it's not about the money. At least for me, it's not about the money. It's about people abusing other people. That's the bottom line. You, Raleigh, and other creators that have been stricken down for copyright in this situation think that we're abusing the copyright system. No, we're not. You folks are abusing our content. And the bottom line is, if YouTube started to take more action against hate speech, vulgar language, inappropriate content, and other community guidelines, we wouldn't have to resort to the copyright system. We wouldn't. Again, it's our right to file a copyright for anything that you use that's ours, even if it's 1 or 2 seconds, right? Do I really want to do that? No. Do I really have a problem with anyone using my content and doing critique on me? No. But if you're attacking me and you're defaming my character and you're harming my brand, I'm going to do whatever I can within my legal rights to stop you, right? And see, that's what American Dream did. You guys took it a bit too far because you guys felt that American Dream was harming people, which no, he's not. Let me tell you what I think happened, American Dream. American Dream, here's what I think happened. I think you came onto YouTube as an outlet. You know how I know that? Because initially, that's what brought me here to start my coaching business. I went through a relationship where I was with a woman that I thought that was going to go the distance. And she ended up cheating on me. And that really, really hurt because I had never been cheated on, right? And after that happened, I was already thinking about starting a coaching business before that, but that fueled me to move forward, right? So I came out here on YouTube, started my coaching business, and basically I had so much rage in me that while I was still running my coaching business, I was also using this as an outlet. Because there were a lot of other guys that were going through or had gone through what I went through, right? So to you, American Dream, you are going through a divorce. And you've had some moments with your wife. These people say that you've had some pretty crazy moments. I don't need to get into that. If any of what they said is true, I don't condone that. But again, I'm not here to judge you. I think I understand why you did what you did. You were looking for the escape, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? So you come out here on YouTube, you try to connect with people, you're trying to make friends, you're trying to share your opinions, and because your opinions are different than theirs, because you're a different person, they start to attack you which makes you go on the defensive. And you weren't experienced at this initially. Just like myself, I wasn't experienced at dealing with this initially. Now I am. 4 years later, I can handle these people simply and very easily. But you were not experienced, American Dream. You weren't. And did you make some mistakes like I did? Absolutely. But I think your mistakes were unintentional. I think your head and heart's always been in the right place. Now, a lot of these guys are saying, drinking and all that. Look, we've all done that. Listen, guys and gals, we've all gone through things and we've all made mistakes because we're struggling to get through something like for American Dream, getting through his divorce. Can I hold that against someone? Absolutely not. We all have our moments. But see, American Dream, here's the thing. I'm not going to go public and say what you do. A lot of these people have doxed you and done all this. I'm not going to do that because I want to be your friend. I think you're a good guy. I think you're on the right side of things. I know what you do for a living, sir. And you are a professional. You are a white-collar professional. Again, I'm not disrespecting or kicking down the blue-collar people. But what you're dealing with here, American Dream, is you're dealing with a bunch of white-collar, lower-class people that have struggled all their life to get to where they're at today. And these people probably also came from a broken household and are very mentally and emotionally unstable. They're insecure. They're immature. They've gone through a divorce and they're bitter about it, or they're in a very unhappy, sexless marriage that's making them bitter and making them behave this way, right? So see, American Dream, you have to realize what you're up against, because I didn't realize initially what I was up against until I learned more about these people and learned the situation, right? Because American Dream, at the end of the day, when you're dealing with these types of people, okay, they're so different than you and I are. And I'm not saying that to kick them down. I'm not trying to kick anyone down. These people can change the way they are and become better people. And Raleigh was saying, I don't do that anymore. You even mentioned me, Raleigh. You said that you doxed me. You did. You showed my address on the screen of a DMCA that I did on one of your channels in the past, right? But you owned it. You apologized. So, okay, cool. And you said you did a few things, but now you're saying that you're moving forward and you want to make it a more positive place. Let's see how you react to this video. I don't mind if you talk about me or talk about it, but if you do, let's see if you respond to it maturely or if you still do the same things that you did. Now, one thing you didn't mention, Raleigh, you didn't mention one thing that you did do. You created a website on me and called me the C word that people used to call me, right? So, and then I DMCA'd your website because that was ridiculous. You used all my images and stuff, and those were my images. That was a legitimate takedown, right? But see, Raleigh, if you claim you want to be a better person, why did you feel the need to create a website, embed all my videos on there, and put rainbow sex toys in my mouth and do that to defame my character? What kind of a real man does that, Raleigh? You didn't own that. And I'm not mad that you didn't own that. I'm not mad that you didn't mention that and didn't own that. I guess you forgot about that, right? But you're claiming that you're now done with that and you're moving on to more positivity, right? Okay, I want to see that. It's not that I follow you guys all the time. Every so often I'll check in, especially when I have somebody on my channel now that's been donating money to me, that's been seeking my help, communicating with me privately, and sharing the story, which I'm not going to put out there. You folks probably already know it because you guys, doxed him and did other things, right? Looked into him, right? I'm only looking into it now because I want to help this gentleman. He's a good guy. And he is currently experiencing everything I went through with the same group of people. Now, it's interesting to me, nobody's commenting in the chat. That's fine. As far as I know, maybe somebody's simulcasting me. If you are, I could care less. It doesn't matter to me. You guys want to simulcast me and, have a group of people talk smack about me, that's on you. It's just further proving my point, right? And quite frankly, you aren't my audience anyway. The right audience is continuing to find my channel, and I've moved forward. This is just for example purposes here tonight. So, what else happened on that Raleigh stream this morning that's noteworthy, that pertains to you, American Dream? I guess there's some lady named Butterfly or something like that. I can't remember what the heck her name is. She came onto Raleigh stream and she was trying to say, I'm not complaining. I'm not here to play the role of the victim. Ma'am, you went off for like 20 or 30 minutes straight. Raleigh couldn't even get a word in. Ma'am, you were whining and complaining more than my than my ex-girlfriend's former female dog, ma'am. Because, ma'am, look, if you were in a good place emotionally, you wouldn't feel the need to go on some drama show panel and, whine and complain for 30 minutes straight. That's all you did. Whether you realize it or not, that's how you came off to me, and that's what you were doing, right? You guys were talking about American Dream. You guys are saying that American Dream did this. He came at me, this and that. How do you expect me to believe anything you're saying when you're behaving like a 2-year-old, man? And same with you, Raleigh. How do you expect me to believe anything you're saying is true? Like, even if American Dream did some wrong things, it would be more believable if you handled it maturely and say, hey, you know what Dream did wasn't right, but we're not here to criticize him. Maybe we can help him get back on track, right? But see, you're not looking at it that way. You're looking at creating a drama crap show, Raleigh, and then bringing on somebody that's going to keep your audience around a little bit longer because you have no other content. That's the truth of the matter, right? Because that's your audience, right? And here's the thing, Raleigh, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told DeRosa, okay? I've been telling a lot of these drama creators that have been trying to turn things around, right? Because they have a monetized channel, they don't want to get shut down, and they want to head in the right direction. The only way you're going to head in the right direction is completely removing this drama audience and rebuilding from scratch like I'm doing. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And for you, Raleigh, I know you have your businesses, and you don't need YouTube to make a living. But if you want to make something out of yourself on YouTube, in addition, this Dramasphere audience, especially if you're trying to remove drama and do the right thing, it's not going to help you get there. You have to completely remove it. I'm here listening, says Furious Reactor Gaming. What do you think about what I've said so far, Will? Does that make sense to you? So, American Dream files a copyright on Raleigh, and Raleigh whines and complains and says it's fair use. Well, in your opinion, it's fair use. In YouTube's opinion, they can't even have an opinion. If you use part of anyone's content and someone files a DMCA, YouTube has to take it down by law, Raleigh. So they took it down, right? Now you're whining and complaining, saying that it's fair use. Maybe it was fair use. But is it up to you to decide what's fair use? Is it up to even the person filing the DMCA to decide what's fair use? Is it up to YouTube? No, it's not up to any of you. It's up to the court of law. Only the court of law can decide what's fair use and not fair use. Fair use, Raleigh and everyone else, is subjective to the court of law. Used to be the federal court system, but now they're adding the small claims version. They're going to be deciding on a lot of fair use cases down the road. Mark my words. If you guys don't stop using other people's content, which I'm sure now you guys are going to stop because of this new small claims copyright court when it first opens up. They're still building it. The law passed, but they're still building it. I'm sure it'll come out at some point this year. And when that comes out, I'll do a stream on that and I'll share more information on that. But it's interesting to me how I've seen all these creators start to shift ever since Trump was defeated by Joe Biden. Things are starting to shift because now social media companies are taking action against hate and inappropriate content and misinformation and all of that, right? Hello, Hillbilly Joe. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. How'd you find out about the channel, or are you a soccer account? Forgive me if you're not a soccer account. When I just see names like that pop out of the blue, it just makes me wonder. Furious Reactor Gaming says it's all true. So, you said something on your stream today, Raleigh, that makes sense. You said, I'm not going to play clips from this. I'll just talk about it because I don't want to get flagged down. So now, Raleigh, you're being proactive, right? I just use YouTube for laughs and giggles. I don't take it seriously. No problem, bro. If you're here for entertainment, that's great. Then go to channels that are entertaining for you, right? Nothing wrong with using YouTube for entertainment or learning stuff or a combination of both. But don't attack people while you're here. Criticizing people and making commentary professionally is different than attacking people to kick them down. That's called drama. I've been here before. Well, thank you so much. Bill Bradford. Hi there, host. Is this Robert coming in on multiple stock accounts right now? Are they starting to come in? So, Raleigh, you're now saying, I don't want to deal with this copyright on any of my channels. So what I'm going to do is be more proactive and just not use content from people that I know are going to flag me down, right? Just like the title of my stream says, being proactive and taking ownership of your actions prevents most setbacks, Raleigh, right? Are you just now realizing that? Because I've realized that all along. I've realized that all along. A few people, including some people in your drama sphere, well, they all came from your drama sphere. A few people have, done that to me in the past. Once on this channel, it was done by Jamie. And then once on the secondary channel I had, which was also done by Jamie. I used part of his clip for fair use, and he flagged me down. I tried to get him to retract it. He wouldn't do it. So I was down for 2 weeks. I filed the counter notification, and I won. Right? Ever since those 2 infractions, I said, you know what? It's just not even worth using any of these people's content. Right? Because here's the thing. When you're dealing with a drama audience, they want to stir up the drama pot, right? So if you're reviewing their content and you're calling them out on the truth and they don't like that, they're going to try to silence you by flagging you down for copyright, right? So if they're going to play that game, that's the way it works on the flip side. That's why I've had to play that game the same way. That's why Dream, Raleigh, played the game the same way. And Raleigh, you played the same game too. See, Raleigh, what you're not remembering is that you flagged people down for copyright too for the same exact thing that you're complaining about. At the end of the day, we all have a on-off button. If you don't like the content, switch up. I agree. So see, Raleigh, I can respect the direction you want to go, right? And owning up to things, right? You haven't owned up to everything, but that's okay. I'm not going to criticize you like that other troll came in and was criticizing me about me owning up to my stuff, right? But Raleigh, it's very hypocritical for you to be blaming someone for doing something to you that you've done to many other people. You have flagged down many other channels in the past for copyright infringement, including JB Gunner. You flagged him down. Remember that? Right? I'm not fond of him and many of these people, right? I'm not fond of the drama sphere at all, right? But I'm using this for example purposes to show the hypocrisy that's coming out of your mouth and many other people in your drama sphere group that are dealing with the same things. You guys blame people for taking you down for copyright when you claim it's fair use, but then you do the same thing to other people, dude. And in this world, Raleigh and everyone else, you only get what you give, right? What you put out, you get back, right? If you're cool with me, Raleigh, and everyone else, I'm cool with you. If you mess with me, trust me, I'm going to mess with you 10 times harder, but I'm going to do it professionally, maturely, and within the YouTube guidelines and legally. Now, another thing that Raleigh mentioned on his stream, this other content creator that used to come at me years ago, his name is JB Gunner. He's a political commentating type of channel. He used to have a follower named Citizen Man. Citizen Man branched off, I guess, and apparently started a channel that was taking off, and he was starting to make some good money. So JB Gunner incited his audience, kind of like President Trump incited the insurrection at the Capitol, right? Good analogy there, right? Good comparison there to what I'm trying to say, right? To go and flag down Citizen Man, right? Do I feel it was the right thing to do? I don't really have an opinion on it. That's subjective, because there's only one thing that matters. Whether it's right or wrong regarding what JB Gunner did to Citizen Man and his audience did to Citizen Man, Citizen Man is the one that Citizen Man is the one that created that content, right? So if Citizen Man is creating content that violates the YouTube guidelines or copyright, guidelines, anyone can flag him, right? Well, the person that if it's copyright, it has to be the person that's being violated, but anyone can flag any channel for violating guidelines at any time, right? And whether JB Gunner and his audience flagged Citizen Man out of spite or not, that doesn't matter. If Citizen Man was violating the guidelines, he deserves to go down one way or another. Just like if JB Gunner violates the guidelines, he deserves to go down one way or another. If I violate the guidelines, I deserve to go down one way or another. But why don't I go down, right? Why don't I go down? I'm sure you guys flag me all the time. How come I never go down? Why? Because I don't violate the guidelines. So whether someone wants to take me down out of spite or not, they can't, simply because of the fact that I don't violate the guidelines. I'm proactive. I think about the consequences before I take any of my actions. Phil Bradford says, I was reading Biden is going to be tough with China. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hung Howie and the boys. Where is your Kirkland coffee tonight? I have been hooked on the breakfast roast. Well, here's the thing. For some reason, Costco right now is out of stock of the Kirkland Colombian Supremo. And apparently they've replaced it with a Colombian Supremo they used to carry, made by a company called Jose's. It's a little bit cheaper too. So, it's like, I think it's like $11.99 or $12.99 for 3 pounds of Jose's Colombian Supremo, whole beans. Is it as good as the Kirkland? It's close, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not as good, but it is about 90% as good as the Kirkland. So it's Jose's Colombian Supremo from Costco. Hillbilly Joe, it must be my age, but why can't you all play nicely? I agree, bro. Hey, Hillbilly Joe, I agree with you. I've always tried to play nicely. I've always been a good guy. I don't want to say nice guy because, the nice guys finish last stereotype, right? But see, I treat people the way I want to be treated. But if somebody's going to come at me, I can ignore that. If they come at me and they try to destroy my business, my relationship, or my family, if they take it into real life, I'm going to come at them 10 times harder, legally, maturely, and professionally. And I'm going to do what I have to do to stop them. So I've always been an advocate for playing fair. But these people, they don't play fair, Hillbilly Joe, because they weren't raised to be that way. A lot of these guys, like I said, they're from the Midwest and the South, and maybe you're from there, and maybe you're the exception. Please forgive me if you're from there. I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm just stating what I've seen. A lot of these guys are middle-aged, Caucasian, conservative extremists from the Midwest and the South, Trump territory. They came from poverty. They came from a broken household. They're lower class. They're blue collar. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm stating the facts. Doesn't mean they're bad people, right? But they have a different mindset as, say, someone like I would have that was raised in suburbia, in California, in a white-collar environment, and I work a white-collar job. I've always worked white-collar type of jobs, right? Again, I'm not being critical. I'm saying there's a difference, right? And I'm also more slightly on the left, more so down the middle. I like to use from the left and the right, but I'm not an extremist one way or another. These guys are extremists, and they're extremists on the right. They're very, very conservative. So they're very, very set in their ways, because anything that they built through their, blue-collar type of business they may run, and some may be white-collar owners, but whatever these conservative extremists on the right from the Midwest and the South have built, they worked hard for it, and they have very little flexibility for anyone criticizing them. Yet they're the first ones to criticize other people like you and me, right? Howie says, I do the Costco K-Cups, damn good. Yeah, they're the equivalent to the Keurig. They're a little bit cheaper than the Keurig brand, right? Excellent. Excellent. So again, American Dream. I'm going to start wrapping this up because I've said everything I had to say. I think you're an amazing person. I think that you have experienced the exact same thing I have. I now know the reason why you donate to me. I now know the reason why you come to my channel and support me. I now know what you're looking to accomplish and what you've always wanted to accomplish. All you wanted to do was come out here on YouTube, American Dream, and, have an outlet, have people to connect with. You're going through something, right? You're going through a divorce. You wanted people to connect with and talk with, right? Unfortunately, you came across the same group of Dramasphere people like I did, and these people don't have a care for you. They don't have a care for anything besides what's best for them. And when I realized that, and I realized how unreasonable these people are, and they're very selfish and insecure and immature and unstable emotionally and mentally, I started to ignore them and withdraw, right? I may share a story about them every now and then, but I don't let them affect me. What they do doesn't bother me anymore at all because I've learned how to handle it. Plus, like I said, one of the biggest shifts started happening when Biden beat out Trump, and it started to change everything. And now that, you have an all blue, government, from the White House to Congress, right? The House and the Senate, right? It's all blue, right? All these people that got away with what they were doing to harm people like myself for the last 4 years are starting to get shut down, and they're starting to realize, hey, we can't do this anymore, right? Hillbilly Joe, blue collar, white collar, as long as you put food on the table, that's all that matters. I agree with you, bro. Listen, I'm not knocking blue collar workers. As a matter of fact, my brother and I, we help my mother maintain the family estate, all the residents, like I do a lot of the plumbing, toilet repair. There are things you have to do to repair toilets, maintenance, replacing lights, all that type of stuff, right? That's all blue collar work. I'm not knocking blue collar work. I actually enjoy blue collar work. I enjoy doing the work, to help out my family, and, I can repair my own stuff. I just wouldn't want to do it as a career. I enjoy more white collar work, not because I want to be any better than a blue collar worker or person, because I just enjoy those types of people. I get along better with those types of people. It's just what I've been around. Does that mean I'm opposed to being friends? with blue collar people? No. I tried to be friends with all these blue collar people, and look what happened. Look what it did, right? Look what it did. You should do DIY maintenance repair videos. That's not what I do, bro. I'm a coach. I'm a life coach, business and personal. Now, I can start a secondary channel. Who knows? Down the road, I might do that. There are so many things I'm able to do. But this is what I enjoy doing the most. I love helping people better understand each other. I love life's principles. I love male and female relationship dynamics. I love talking about business topics. Love talking about, the corporate world compared to being self-employed. These are the things I enjoy talking about, man, and helping people with. That's where I am most experienced at. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm going to wrap up by saying this. If you look at my background today, life isn't waiting for the storm to pass. It is about learning to dance in the rain. One more time. Life isn't waiting for the storm to pass. It is about learning to dance in the rain. I've learned to do that in all aspects of my life. And I had already figured out how to do that in all other aspects of my life, with the exception of when I first came out here on YouTube 4 years ago. Now I've learned how to do that out here on YouTube as well. In other words, what I'm saying is that if you folks, regardless of whether you're on the left or right, you're male or female, regardless of who you are or what you believe in, mark my words, if you learn how to be more proactive than reactive, right? If you learn how to think about the consequences of things before you take action and be more proactive, you're going to be dealing with less consequences. Things are going to get easier. You're going to say, I'm not going to do this because I know this is going to happen and I'm not going to like that result, right? And maybe for you, Raleigh, and some of you others that have been struggling with this, maybe right now is a time where you folks are starting to realize you got to learn to understand that, especially out here on YouTube. You got to be proactive on YouTube, regarding the content you create, regarding a topic I talk about live or pre-recorded. You got to think about what's advertiser friendly and what's not. You got to think about what violates the guidelines and what's not. You got to think about what violates copyright and what doesn't, right? Before I do any stream or pre-recorded video, I take all of those aspects into consideration. And I think about, if I do this, is this safe from copyright? Is this safe from getting flagged for a guideline violation, community guideline? Is this safe from, being demonetized, right? And because I take all that into consideration, I'm proactive, all my videos are green. Like, let me do this real quick here. Let me do something here real quick, okay? I want to do something real quick here and see before we get out of here. I want to check something out. Let me switch to... Oh, I thought I had my... I'm not going to show it. I was going to show the back end of my A Grip on Life channel, that everything is monetized. But I think you folks have seen that before, those that have been here in the past. And you can just take my word for it. Be proactive, folks. Know what you're up against. Understand the consequences before you take any of your actions. And I promise you, you'll have a better chance of moving things forward even quicker that way as well. That being said, oh, the fake Tyrese Need is here again. Tyrese Need, I'm going to have to remove you, man. It's ridiculous, dude. With that being said, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you to Howie for being here. Thank you to Hillbilly Joe. Thank you to Furious Reactor Gaming. And thank you to Firewolf Studios earlier and anyone else watching behind the scenes or on Facebook. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably be doing a political stream tomorrow, either tomorrow or Friday. But regardless, I'll be back tomorrow for another show. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.